Hey guys, my name is Michelle. Welcome to my channel. So today I have something a little special for you guys. I'm just going to jump right on that bandwagon with all the other makeup, beauty YouTubers out there. Most of them are doing like a best of 2018 video. I figured, why not? I might as well do it too. There were so many good makeup products released in 2018. I just wanted to grab a couple items from each makeup category. So a few primers, foundations, setting powders, etc. and share those with you guys and explain to you why I like them. I recommend grab a bag of popcorn and get yourself a snack, a drink, prop your feet up, settle down. I love makeup of all types, and I have, in my opinion, some very good makeup products. So if you're interested in finding out what I thought were the best products of 2018, stick around, we're going to jump right on in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in order as far as like how I put my makeup on. So the first category we're going to start with is face primers. The primer that I would say I reach for the most in my everyday makeup application is the Dr. Brandt Pores No More primer, and that's this guy here. If you're somebody that has large pores like me, this is going to help a little bit with lessening the appearance of those pores. Another primer that I really enjoy is the Tatcha Silk Canvas primer, and that's this guy here. I really like this because it makes your skin so soft. This doesn't necessarily extend my makeup wear, but it does make my skin soft and look less textured, so that's why I like this one. The reason why I like the Fenty Beauty primer is because it just gives me this kind of soft, textured finish, and I really like that. I don't think it really extends my makeup wear, but it does make my skin look soft. Last product from the primer category is the Becca Evermatte Poreless Priming Perfector, and that's this guy here. You really have to be strategic where you put it on your face. If you're somebody that struggles with a really oily T-zone, then my suggestion would be just to put it in that T-zone. So that wraps up the primer category. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and take that Tatcha Silk Canvas primer and I'm just going to prime my face really quickly. You'll have to forgive me, I'm just trying to rush here. I've had a couple of my friends watch my videos and tell me that they're a little long, and I'm like, I know. It's so hard to cut out stuff. Editing is a very hard process because you don't want to leave out good information, but at the same time, like, not everybody needs to know everything you're trying to, get across, so. Okay, so now that my face is fully primed, I want to move on to the next category. So I do have several foundations I want to share with you. I have some higher end foundations, and then I have some drugstore foundations. Okay, so the first foundation I want to share with you is the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear. And that's this one here. This one is great for oily skin. It'll keep your skin matte for a very long time. Okay. The second product is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. And that's this one here. This one, again, great for oily skin. It will keep your face oil-free all day long. So when I use those two, my face can look very matte. So what I usually do when I'm mixing my foundations is I'll mix in something a little more natural, leaning dewy, into those matte foundations so they're not as heavy looking on my skin. Okay, so another favorite of mine is the Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation, and this is like a whipped formula. So this one is, I wouldn't say made for oily skin or dry skin. I would say it was probably falls somewhere in between, but I like this one. Another one I really like is the Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Form. Oh my god. This one I usually mix in with more, my more matte foundations because it kind of lessens that effect. So those are the more like higher end foundations that I like. Now the two drugstore foundations that I have really come to enjoy here as of lately. The first one is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. And if you're somebody that's really into makeup, then you already know about this one. I mean, everybody under the sun has reviewed it and talked about it for a while now. And They're not lying. It's really good. Highly recommend this one if you guys are looking for a good drugstore foundation. Give it a try. It's really not expensive. You won't regret it. Okay, and the other one I actually did a review on in one of my prior videos. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. This one is more of like a dewy finish though. It didn't last all day long because it was dewy, but it wasn't bad. So that wraps up my foundation category. Okay, so I am going to apply that HD Liquid Coverage Foundation with a beauty blender. How did the other YouTubers do it? How do they get makeup on their face without, like, I guess I need a table in front of me that I can look down at. That's what I need. I don't have anything like that. So I'm trying to balance this stuff on my knees and it's not working out very well for me. So if you hear a loud boom, it's just my mirror crashing to the floor, to its untimely demise. Damn it. I need something. Okay, so I'm going to take that Catrice HD I almost said Liquid Courage. I'm going to take that Catrice HD Liquid Coverage and I'm going to just apply that to my face really quickly. This stuff smells like baby powder. It's not a bad smell, it's just different. Hold a minute. So I just realized that the beauty blender I actually gave to my daughter that ended up on the floor yesterday because the cat had a hold of it and has a bunch of rips in it now was the one I was just applying foundation with all over my face. Not sure how that got back into my makeup drawer, but we're gonna wet a clean beauty blender. It's gross. Okay, so now that my foundation is laid down, I'm gonna jump into the next category, which is concealers. So, concealers are a little tricky. The ones that I have, I like for different reasons. So the first one that I'm going to mention, and I'm sure others have probably mentioned this in their, favorites videos, is the Tarte Shape Tape. This is nothing new. This is, it's been around for a while. I like this because it will hide anything. It is a very heavy duty concealer. The next concealer that I've really been enjoying is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer, and that's this one here. This one is also very high coverage. It will cover just about anything, but it's not as drying as the Shape Tape. This one is a little bit more, a thicker consistency than the Shape Tape, but I do really like this one. Another concealer that I really like that I haven't heard really anybody speak about is the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Complete Serum Concealer, and that's this one here. I have oily skin but dry under eyes, if that makes any kind of sense at all. So I was trying to find a concealer that would help with, not looking so dried out and cakey underneath my eyes. And that's why I bought this one. I do feel like it helps with that. The reason why I like this one is that I can honestly apply a little bit all over my face. I can blend it out, and then that's all I put on. I don't put on any foundation over it. I don't put any powder on. It's just the concealer blended over the imperfections. So that's why I like this one. Another concealer I enjoy is the Tarte Creaseless Concealer. And again, this is a sample. If you put it on underneath your eyes, it's going to stay kind of shiny. It's going to be a little bit moisturizing. And it says it's creaseless. It's full of crap. Any concealer you put under your eye is going to crease. I don't care what anybody tells you. You can do what you can to minimize the creasing, but you put a liquid into a crease, it's going to crease. The next concealer I have is the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer. This one I didn't realize was a concealer when I bought it. I thought that it was just supposed to make your skin look better. Honestly, I don't know. The reason why I buy things sometimes is baffling. Anyhow, the consistency of this concealer is super thick, as you can see. It's almost like a, I don't know, like a putty or something. But I like that because it only takes a very little bit and you can cover just about anything with it. And it's not very drying. It makes your just skin look enhanced. So that wraps up the concealer category. Okay, so for today's video, for the sake of putting on, you know, something of each category, I'm going to use that Jouer concealer that I was telling you guys about. Oh, and by the way, if my lips look really funny and off color, it's because they are. When I was doing my little, you know, getting each thing together today for this video, I tried on probably 20 different lipsticks. They are like fluorescent pink at the moment, so, you know. Let me guess, you hit your head.
I was trying to run the skateboard, I tried doing an ollie, and the ollie went underneath me, and I smacked my forehead off the pavement.
You alright? Let me see.
I feel dizzy.
Well, yeah, that happens when you hit your head. Take it easy. I'm telling you, we're going to get a bubble for you because you are the most accident-prone kid I've ever met. Okay, so the next category on my list is setting powders. I do not own that many setting powders. Well, that might be a lie. I own quite a few. I own a few. The first one that I really enjoy, I reach for all the time, is the Peach Perfect Setting Powder by Too Faced. This stuff is great at keeping your skin really matte. I use it almost every single day. But another one that I do like, that if I'm not using that one, I occasionally switch it up with, is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder in this little packaging here. Kind of fancy. I'll show you what that looks like. Ooh, it's dusty. That one is very finely milled. And then lastly, the other powder that I'll use, like if I'm out and about, if I'm at work or, you know, wherever, if I'm not at home and I need to touch up a little bit, I'll use the Estee Lauder Double Wear Compact. This one I like just because it is colored. It's my skin tone. And if, you know, if I have something that's poking through, whether my makeup is worn off a little bit, I can apply that and it looks good again. So that wraps up my setting powders. Just for the sake of this video, I am going to use the Peach Perfect setting powder since that's my favorite. So I'm just going to set the majority of my face here. All right, moving along. Hey, Vanny. Can you bring me my coffee? She's the best. That kid makes the best coffee. I remember being a kid and my father used to ask me to make him mugs of tea, and I hated it. I don't know if it's because of the way he went about asking me for it, or if it's because I was a lazy brat, or I don't know. It was probably the way he used to ask me, but I look back now and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I've turned into my dad. Alright, so the next product we're going to jump into, guys, is blush. Now, blush is something I have really come to love over the past year. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. But I do have several that I've really been enjoying. I'm going to explain those to you very quickly. Okay, so when I'm like getting ready in the morning and I'm looking for a blush, the first one I usually grab is the Benefit Gold Rush Blush. The reason I usually grab this one is just because it is a good neutral blush. It's complementary on my skin tone. It's not very dark or heavy. It's just something to give my cheeks a little bit of color, and it just looks nice on my skin. So that's number one. Another blush that I really enjoy is, this is a sample that I got in one of my Sephora Play boxes, but this is from Tarte. It's their Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Party. At least that's what I think of every time I see that. I'll show you guys the back of it. So anyway, so this one's a little, this one's a little more like rose colored, I guess, than the Benefit one. Another blush that I really like is the Milani blush. It's their rose line here. These are so pretty. I almost didn't want to dip into it when I bought it, but the finish is really pretty. It looks good on my skin. This one is in the shade Romantic Rose. If you're looking for a good, inexpensive blush, check out the Milani blushes. You'll love them. Ooh, it's arrived. Thank you for making that for me. Does it bother you when I ask you to make me coffee?
No.
No?
Not at all.
It tastes so delicious.
I know. You tell me that all the time?
I do. I love you. So good. And then last but not least, this is newer to my collection, but I've tried it. I really like it. I'm going to wear it today. This is the Burt's Bees blush, and this is in the shade Bare Peach. Now, if you're somebody that watches Kathleen Lights, then you already know all about this little gem. So when I saw this one, I thought, let's give it a try. We'll see if Kathleen's right, and she was. So, you know. Oh, snap. I'm talking a lot. That's a lot of powder. Oh, look at that. I must have went in hard. Goodness gracious, I didn't mean to. Let's hope it doesn't apply like that to my face. Eh. Yeah. This is such a pretty color, this Bare Peach. I should have contoured. Damn it. Ooh, we're looking a little bit peachy. Shoot. Where are we at? I'm losing my mind here. Like, I went hard with the products. I'm not joking. My bed is just covered. We haven't even made it to my bed. I'm going to have to edit out like 95% of this video. Sucks. Okay, so now on to the bronzer and the contour. We can do the bronzing. You know, I might still be able to do that. Let's do it. Let's do it really quickly here. I think I put on a little bit too much of that Bare Peach. What do you think? Looking like not so bare, right? Ooh, that burnt my insides. Okay, so I'm going to say this, but I know there are so many people that talk about this bronzer. I can't help it because I really like it too. It suits my skin tone. It smells delicious and wonderful. If for no other reason, I would buy this just because of how it smells. If that doesn't ring a bell already and you don't know, I'm talking about the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Whoops. This stuff, it smells like, oh God, I don't know, coconut. It smells like you're at the beach. That's what it smells like. I think I got this in my first Boxy Luge. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry. This is the Park Avenue Princess by Tarte. Now, I love this palette. I really do. Tarte eyeshadows and Tarte contour powders and highlighters, anything like that, they just smell like chocolate. And I love that. Like, I'll open this randomly and just smell it. Because I'm a weirdo, like straight up. And it's okay, I can admit that. But anyway, when I'm using this, I usually use the color Princess Cut. This one here, because it's their lightest shade in the palette. And sometimes I'll go in with this one here to kind of clean up down here after I've bronzed or after I've contoured. And it works well that way. So I really do like this Park Avenue Princess. Another contouring palette that I like is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Shapeshifter. This one has two different sides. It has a powder side and it's got a cream side. I'll be completely honest with you. The only thing I've ever done to the cream side is put my fingers in it. That's it. Just kind of, what's it look like? But I've never actually used it. I have, however, used the powder side. And of course, I would be going in with this shade here because that better suits a cooler skin tone. You know, I apologize if I'm chewing bubblegum in all my videos. It's a habit. I was a smoker for like 15, 16 years and I quit last January. Oh, it's been a year. So I quit smoking a year ago. And ever since, man, I chew gum non-stop. I can't help it. I mean, chew gum or smoke. It's one of those things, like, you gotta pick the better alternative. I'd rather chew bubble gum. Smelling a little funky. I swear, I can make the ugliest faces of anybody you've ever met. I put money on it. By the way, this butter bronzer, when I first bought it, I dropped it and it broke, like, immediately. Like, I never even got to use it when it was brand new. It broke before I even had the chance. So I put a little bit of rubbing alcohol in it and mashed it down and let it sit. And while it doesn't look beautiful, it's obviously, like, repressed. It works like a charm still. Like, I'm so impressed with myself. I got powder in my eyes, I can't see. Alright. I think that's all I'm going to do with that bronzer. I'm really hoping this doesn't jack things up since I've got my blush down already. Guess we're going to find out. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to go back underneath of that with something because it's looking rough at the moment. I want to contour my nose. Why do I want to do that? I have no idea. No. No! Not going to do it. Back away from the contour powder. Oh, you know what? Shoot. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lighten up underneath that bronzer real quick, though. Because it's looking awful bronzed. It's looking awful dark down here. So I'm just going to lighten that up just a tad. I'm going to take that Shapeshifter palette from Urban Decay, and I'm going to dip into this lightest shade here just to kind of lighten it up a little bit, I guess. It came down a little bit too far here. I'm trying to get it to go away, and I can't. Okay. You know what? What I'm going to do is take that Beauty Blender, because it's still got a little bit of product on it, and I'm going to blend away down here because I went down too far. Alright, moving right along. This looks like shit, by the way. Sorry. How is my favorites turning out like poop? My favorite makeup's not looking so hot. It's looking substandard. I don't know what happened. I think because I've been like stopping in between and like talking to my kids and... Okay, so the next thing on my list is highlighters. Now, highlighters, they're not something I wear on a day-to-day basis just because I am at work. I don't always want to look like I'm like beaming or glowing or whatever the case. Ofra has a very wide variety of colors for their highlighters, and ones that suit my fair skin tone. So if I am wearing a highlighter, I might grab Star Island. That's this one here. I also like their Rodeo Drive. This one is more of like a light bronzy shade. Still very cool toned. I like their Pillow Talk highlighter. This one has like a pink color to it. This is the one that I've used the most of because I also like to put this underneath my brow bone as a brow bone highlight. So anyway, I like Ofra highlighters. Another one that I really like that I just recently kind of discovered is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. This one I kind of like to put all over my face. I'm not really sure if you're supposed to do that with this one because it is rather shiny. It gives you a really nice, healthy glow. Now, this one's not going to come as any surprise to any of you. A lot of people have this in their favorites videos, understandably so. It is an amazing highlighter. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter, and this one is just like a really pretty gold color. All right, so the highlight that I'm going to put on for you today is the Anastasia Amrezy highlight. Amrezy? How do you say that? Somebody comment down below and tell me how that's pronounced. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I'd rather say Amrezy, but that's probably the West Virginian way of saying it. Anyway, I'm going to put that on my cheeks for you. A brush that I really like for this purpose is the Morphe M501, and it's got this really feathery, kind of long, tapered head on it. Okay, so the next category I have is eyeliner. Okay, so the first one isn't even supposed to be an eyeliner, but I wanted to include it just because it's what I use it for. So the first one is actually the Anastasia Beverly Hills Highlighting Duo Stick. So you're supposed to use this for your brow, to highlight and to conceal, whatever. But I actually use this more, my waterline eyeliner, to be honest with you. It brightens up my eyes. It makes my eyes look wider and open. I'm not really big on wearing like white eyeliner. It's too much. But this is almost like skin colored. It just is a little bit lighter, so it just makes your eyes look a little more open. So this is my go-to, even though it's technically not supposed to be used for that. That's what I use it for. And then I have a couple more that I want to show you. So if I am going to wear like a black eyeliner, the two that I would pick up, one of them is the Urban Decay 24/7 eye pencil. This is nothing new. A lot of people, have talked about this. This is in the shade Perversion. It's just a very good black eyeliner. Okay. And then another one is the IT Cosmetics No Tug. What does it say? Waterproof Anti-Aging Gel Eyeliner. Like, the titles on these things are crazy. This one is, it's dark. It's not as dark as the Urban Decay, but it lasts a while because it's this one here. It lasts a while because it's waterproof. So that's why I like this one. There's a whole other section to this eyeliner thing that I wanted to share with you today because I don't see a whole lot of people speaking about them. But they are freaking awesome, okay? So these can be eyeliners or they can be used to do face art. I'm talking about the Suva Beauty Hydroliners. All right, so I'm gonna take the black one. This one is the shade Grease. It's just black, okay? And what you do is you wet the brush and then you just kind of swirl it in there, okay? And it's just gonna get thick. I like that the rest of the pot doesn't get nasty. It's just the top where you're swirling it. And then I'm just going to wipe some of that off. This is really too big of a brush to be doing liner with. It's not quite thin enough. But do you see that? It's just black. It's very black, very thick, opaque. Anyway, if you're looking for a good liner, if you're looking for one that's not going to come off, I highly recommend you giving these a try. They are matte. They dry down matte. They're not shiny. Again, I can't say good enough things about this Suva Beauty Hydroliners. They're awesome. And they have so many different colors, lots. Oh yeah, the other good thing about those Hydroliners, watch this. They are going nowhere. Once they dry down, they are on. They won't go anywhere unless you get makeup remover and get them off. Okay, so moving along to the next category is brows. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't even feel like doing my brows. Oh, it takes forever. I'm going to talk about the brow products really quickly. I don't really have that much time this evening, so I really don't feel like doing my eyebrows. I might just do something really quickly just to get something on them. Okay, so I really only ever use 4 brow products at any given time. First and foremost, I cannot go without my Brow Wiz, my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I use this one on a daily basis. I need something to fill in my brows. As you can see, I really don't have any eyebrows. I mean, I have a little bit. Don't get me wrong. There's a little bit of hair there, but it's not much. This helps correct that. If I am running low on my Brow Wiz and I don't have enough, I'll dip into my ColourPop Brow Boss, and that's this guy here. Okay, the other 2 products that I use consistently and that I really like are the Gimme Brow by Benefit. It does a good job adding fibers to your brows to make them look fuller. It's got a tinted brow gel as well, so it makes it you know, to where your eyebrows will stay in place. The other kind of brow gel that I use is the Milk Makeup Kush Fiber Brow Gel. Same concept as the Gimme Brow. The only difference is the Milk one is a little more liquidy and it applies a lot more heavily than the Gimme Brow does, but both very good products. Okay, so my very favorite mascara at the moment is the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. And it comes in this really heavy duty type of packaging here. But guys, this mascara is so good. It gives your lashes some length, volume. It is good stuff. So as a runner-up to that one is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. But this one's really good for adding length. Not so much volume, but it's good for adding length. I'm really picky about my mascaras, I just am. I don't usually wear false lashes, so I have to find a mascara that works well for me, and then I cling to it. I'm a stage 5 clinger. Okay, so really quickly, I'm just gonna throw a little bit of product in my brows. Oh, I hate doing my eyebrows. Like, I loathe. If I could get microblading, I completely would. That would save me so much time getting ready. Like, that is where the bulk of my time goes when I'm getting ready. It's my eyebrows. Like I said, I'm not going to do nothing nuts today. I'm just going to darken them up a little bit with this stuff here, with this Gimme Brow. I was watching one of my videos back the other day while I was trying to edit, and it was like silence, and all you could hear was me breathing. And I'm like, I must have had my microphone up too loud or something, but it was unnerving. It was gross. And my eyebrows are unruly anyway. I am terrified to go somewhere and have them wax or even pluck or anything, because every time I do, they screw them up, like without fail. That's the entire reason I have no eyebrows as it is. From a young age, I had them plucked. They never grew back properly. I'm scarred for life. Yeah, I know my brows be looking crazy right now, but I am not taking time to finish them. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like when I do add a little bit of product to them. So the next little section of my favorites for 2018, let's see, should be eyeshadow. Lies eye primer. Guys, it's chilly willy in here. I'm turning my heater on, so if you hear that little hum in the background, it's cold. I need a heater. I feel like I'm an Eskimo. Alright, so currently my favorite eye primers. Numero uno, the P. Louise base. When you use the P. Louise base, the colors just, they grab onto it, and it just makes them pop, and the colors blend really nicely over it. And I think it's like $10 a bottle. It's really not that expensive. My second pick for eyeshadow primer is the Morphe Translucent Eyelid Primer. This stuff is good for keeping your eyeshadow looks on your eyes all day long. The only thing that I don't like about this is that it can make your eyelids look a little textured. Now, the way that you can kind of counteract that is not to put so much on your eyelids. Just put enough to kind of give you a tiny little coat, and then you're done. But again, I really like using this like before work because it keeps my eyeshadow on all day long. It's great. Okay, so moving on to the most fun portion of this entire video, and quite frankly the most difficult when it came to choosing, is the eyeshadow palettes. This is going to probably disgust some of you. I actually counted how many eyeshadow palettes I had the other day because, guys, I'm not lying. I mean, I've got drawers full of them. 125. Like, at that moment in time, I had to kind of question my sanity. I mean, I've questioned it before, but that really made me kind of take a step back. What are you doing with your life? Anyhow, it is what it is. I own a lot of good eyeshadow palettes. Like, it was really difficult to choose. There's no way I was choosing just one. But it was difficult to choose just 10, okay? So what I'm going to do is just kind of really quickly show you some of my favorites from this past year. Some of them might not have been from this year. It's just what I discovered this year. This is something a little newer. However, I really like it. It complements my skin tone rather well. Of the ones that I have, it's my favorite so far. I'm talking about the Naked Urban Decay Cherry Palette. I know it's nothing real special. It's just cherry tones and, you know, some lighter tones too. I'm sure most of you guys have seen this. But you know what? Like I said, it complements my skin tone. I really do like this one, and I have used it quite a bit. The next palette that I really enjoy is a very colorful palette, but they're good quality shadows. This one is the Violet Voss Flamingo palette. And it's just got some really fun and pretty shades in it. And these shimmers are to die for. There's just some really unique and pretty colorful shades in this palette. So again, another winner in my book. If you guys have not tried Juvia's Place yet, you're seriously missing out on good eyeshadows. Like, no joke, hands down, some of the best eyeshadows that I've tried. I'll just kind of give you a really quick sneak peek into what the color schemes look like. In each of these, that was the Afrique. This is the Festival. This is probably the one I've used the least. This is probably one of my favorites from them, just because, like, oh gosh, this color here, gorgeous. The Nubian is more of like a cool toned, well, it's got some warmer tones too. It's just a brown, everyday, basic nude palette. And then you've got the Masquerade. This one's also gorgeous. It's got some really fun pops of color up here, and then you've got your neutral brown shades here. But like I said, if you have not discovered Juvia's Place yet in 2018, you need to do so. The next set of palettes are the Huda Beauty Obsessions palettes. That is the Mauve Obsessions. There you have the Coral Obsessions. This monochromatic color scheme, it just speaks to me. I really like it. You can do a lot of different eye looks with it. This is their, you know, the ruby one. This one's really fun. I really like that. Had a lot of compliments on the green one when I wore it. So again, the Obsessions palettes by Huda Beauty, they're just good palettes overall. Another brand that I really kind of delved into this year was Morphe. Picking one good Morphe palette out of all of them was really hard. I would pick the Morphe 35M. This one here is just, has some really pretty colors in it. And it's got enough to where you can do like a neutral look, and then it's got enough to where you can do a really fun and colorful look. I'm not quite done with palettes yet, just because I have so many, so please bear with me. Another palette that I discovered this year that I really like is the BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette. That one looks like this, and again, more fun and pretty colors. They're good quality. The greatest thing about BH Cosmetics is that it's affordable makeup, and it's good quality makeup. So that's that. And then on the flip side of that, the next palette I'm going to show you is not affordable makeup. This is something that I bought on sale, or I wouldn't have been buying it. But I love the fact that this is in my collection. Like, if I had to go back and choose again whether or not I would buy it, I would. I'm talking about the Pat McGrath Labs. This is the Bronze Seduction palette, and it's just gorgeous. I mean, when you look at it on camera or even in person, it's just like, it's eyeshadow. I mean, yes and no, because when you apply these to your eyes, it's just honestly unlike anything else I own, which is saying something considering I have that many palettes. Okay, so another palette that became a quick favorite is the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette. I did show this in one of the reviews that I did. I believe it was the first video that I did. This palette is just stunning. There are so many different eye looks you can do with it. I know that you might not think so when you look at it, because it's like puke yellow and green and some browns, but I'm telling you now, this is such a gorgeous palette. It blends itself. It's just, it's beautiful. So, okay, so another like set of eyeshadow palettes that I've really been enjoying this year are the Ace Beauty Paradise palettes. This is the Blossom Passion. This one is the Paradise Fallen palette. That's this one here. Okay, this one is the Classical Paradise palette, and that one looks like this. And then this one is the Slice of Paradise palette from Ace Beauty. But again, I mean, they're really good quality shadows. They are relatively easy to blend. It's just overall a really good collection of eyeshadows. Okay, so we're almost done. We have a couple more, so just hang tight. So ColourPop came out with what, like 8 million eyeshadow palettes this past year. I own a good majority of them. I don't own them all. If I had to pick 2 ColourPop palettes to talk about, the first one I would pick is Good Sport. This was their like fall edit, and I'm just going to show you the colors on this one. Those colors are just me, 100%. The purple and the green and this greeny gold here, and of course we have like these burgundy tone. Like this is just me all over. And then another ColourPop palette that I really like is the Dream Street palette, which was their collaboration with Kathleen Lights. And that one's this one here. Okay, we got two more palettes. This one is one I just recently got, but guys, these shadows are wonderful. They blend so seamlessly. This is the Stacey Marie and Be Perfect collaboration. This is their Carnival palette. I don't even think the camera does it justice. The last of my favorites eyeshadows is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Blood Sugar palette. And I'm going to show you that beautiful palette. Now, on top of the fact that this packaging is like sick, okay? It really is. It's got leather packaging. It's got the little clasps right here. The color story on this is just gorgeous, okay? Not to mention, they perform so well. They blend beautifully. The shimmers show up beautifully. They are very highly pigmented. Like, if you are able to get your hands on the Blood Sugar palette, and if you like reds and purples and, you know, get it. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. So that kind of wraps it up for the eyeshadow portion. Again, I do have so many eyeshadows, so there's so many I didn't get to mention. Like, I really like the Vault collection from Jaclyn Hill. I do like the James Charles palette, but I haven't had enough time to play with it, so I can't call it a favorite. Okay guys, so I know I got a little bit lazy with like applying stuff to my face, but I am running out of time. It's getting late. The kids are getting ready to go to bed. I should be going to bed. So I'm going to try to speed through the rest of this. Story of my life. If I had to name like the best of the best product, like can't live without it, need to have it, no matter what, it would be the Jouer Essential Lip Enhancer. And that's this guy right here. This stuff will make your lips look fuller. It makes them really soft. If you put it on underneath like a drying lipstick, it won't make it so dry. You can add it over top of a really drying lipstick and it'll make it nice and soft. Like, this stuff is a lifesaver. I mean, my lips look crazy right now, so don't judge right now. This is just from trying on too much crap earlier. But before I started using this, my lips were just not full at all. Like my bottom lip, really not too much of an issue with that one, but the top lip was always much thinner. Since I started using this, just I have noticed a huge difference. I don't know if everybody else has. I don't really care what everybody else has noticed. I have noticed a huge difference. So I swear by it. On the back of it, it says like something crazy like use 3 times a day for 29 days. Whatever, I use it when my lips get dry. So 3 times a day, 5 times a day, I don't know, but I love it. I have a backup in the drawer. This here is my jam, okay? When I first started kind of getting into makeup, a good friend of mine, Sarah, she said, I was talking to her about like lip products and God, everything makes my lips dried out and I've got those little tiny pieces of skin and it's makes my lipstick look like crap. Like, what do you do for that? The first thing she recommended to me was the e.l.f. lip exfoliator. And that's this stuff here. It looks like a tube of lipstick, but it's got little sugar crystals in it, and you can exfoliate your lips with it. It's super cheap. I'm pretty sure it's like $6 for a tube of this, and it just makes your lips really soft. This is perfect for exfoliating your lips on a budget. If you are willing to pay more, get the Lip Enhancer by Jouer, because this will also exfoliate your lips as long as you use it as directed and use it a couple times a day. You don't really need anything harsh when you use that. My first real lipstick obsession was the Urban Decay Vice lipsticks. I really don't have any one single shade that I gravitate towards when I wear these, because there are so many good ones. But I will show you one of them. This is Back Talk. This was a really popular color because it's a nude. And that's this one here. Just a really pretty nude pink color. Okay, so moving on to my ultimate favorite liquid lip, okay? If I had to choose one liquid lip, it would be the Bare Minerals Gen Nude formula. The formula on this liquid lipstick is not drying. It stays in place. It looks soft and velvety, and it's just a very flattering color on me as well. So this one here is in the shade Juju. Okay, so the next liquid lip is from Ofra. What I like about these aren't so much the shades, it's the formula, okay? So I only own 4 of the Ofra liquid lipsticks, and they're beautiful shades, don't get me wrong. But I haven't tried so many that I've found the shade, if that makes sense. The shades that I have here are Charmed and Unzipped, and they're rather similar, to be honest with you. It doesn't dry down, it's not sticky, it doesn't move around on my lips, it doesn't feather. Just the perfect formula, honestly. Okay, so another liquid lipstick that I've kind of really come to like is the Kylie Cosmetics Velvet Liquid Lipstick. This one is in the shade Charm, but I like this also because of the formula. Okay, and then now we're on to stick lipsticks. One of my favorites right now is the MAC Kind of Sexy. This is a matte lipstick. It's just a really pretty pink pale nude, but the formula is what I really like about this. It's not too drying, but it's matte, looks nice, doesn't feather. And then the other 2 that I have are from the same formula, just different colors. And I do really care for the colors of these, which is why I like these. I like the color and the formula. So these are the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Color Splash lipsticks. And the 2 shades that I'm kind of obsessed with right now are Rum Punch, and this one is just a nude kind of brown color. It just goes well with everything. And the formula is just awesome. It doesn't feather, but it's wet looking, and it's just a regular lipstick, but it's just nice. The formula is just nice. I don't know how to explain it. The other color that I really like is something that was sent to me in a Sephora Play box. And this is the color Salt Life. It just looks like a rose, or it's beautiful. It's just beautiful on. So that wraps up my lipstick section of this little video, or long video, I should say. All right, 2 more things, guys, and we're gonna wrap this shit up, okay? Because it's getting late at this point. So this is not makeup related, but it's beauty related, and this is my ultimate favorite. So if my future husband is watching out there, just so you're aware, on our first Valentine's Day or our first Christmas together or whatever, if you buy me this, it's a wrap. First of all, this is a fragrance, okay? And this is the Viktor and Rolf Bon Bon. Now the one that I have here is it's a purse spray, and it looks like this. It's just in this little canister here. But this scent, I am here to tell you guys, I could bathe in this. It smells so good. It's just really clean smelling and feminine smelling. I have purchased numerous of this, not necessarily this one in particular, but I've purchased numerous bottles of that. I will continue to purchase it. It is my favorite scent. I'm a sucker for fragrances. I like the smells. I like stuff like that a lot. So anyway, okay, lastly on this list is something that I don't use a whole lot, but I just recently started to, just because of how good it is. This is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And I know that you'll hear a lot of other YouTubers talk about this, but that's because it is fantastic. This setting mist is so fine that when you put it on, like I put it on for the first time and I had it about out to here, I guess. And I put it on and I went, like, did it even touch my face? Like, it is so fine. I ended up pulling it closer and like doing it for longer, but I don't even think you need to do that. I feel like it's really just so fine that you just barely feel it on your skin. This stuff will keep your makeup on much longer than it would if you didn't have it on. And again, the mist is what sold me, because the other ones I have, when you spray them, it's like it's spitting at you. And then before you know it, you've got little tiny dots all over your face. Your makeup is ruined. It's awful. So if you're going to use a setting spray, opt for this one. Just give it a try. It's cheaper anyway than most of the ones that I have. I think this one was like 10 bucks. All right, so I'm pretty sure that kind of concludes my favorites video. I'm sorry that it was like 40 hours long. I'm hoping I can edit this down big time. I hope I really can condense this because it was a lot. But you know what? That's good. I had a lot of favorites this year. Lots of stuff that I enjoy, lots of stuff that I use on a daily basis. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. I really wanted to get the full face going, but it's like 10 o'clock already and I gotta get up early for work. So it's my favorite part of my makeup routine. I don't even get to do it. It's bullshit. Anyway. What about you guys? Is there anything that you guys have been like ride or die with this past year? Any particular makeup product that you guys have been, you know, you tried once and it's just been your holy grail? Like, I've got several. I showed you in my video just now what those are. So if you guys have any ones that are similar to mine, let me know down below. Give me a comment and let me know what you like. Let me know if there's anything that you just saw that is also a favorite of yours. I'd be interested to hear what it is. Or if you have anything else that you can recommend for me, something that is not in my video that you really, really like. But yeah, that wraps it up for this video, guys. Thank you so much for sticking through it with me. I hope you grabbed some popcorn at the beginning like I suggested. But yeah, that concludes this video. Thanks again, guys, so much for hanging out with me today. I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Bye. Oh, you know what else is really good? See, here I go. The Bite Beauty lip pencils. These are fantastic. They really are. I'm just going to pop one on here right quick. Because I can. Damn, this heater is like burning my ass. See what I mean? It just gives you this quick lip look. Get out of here, guys. Go home.